Welcome, our phone is a VIVO Y70 and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. Now starting off, we're going to begin with the app locking option, which is fairly good for applications like music players, which will allow you to prevent them from being closed off. So to enable it, simply go to your recent. Now I'm going to show it simply with the settings. So when you go into recent, you have this little dot right here. I'm going to tap on it and it will bring up a couple options, and you have the lockdown option. Now once you tap on it, you can see that there's a lock next to the name of the application. So what will happen now is, let me just quickly open a couple different things. So if we go back to recent, I can see that only one app has this lockdown, and if I were to now clear all of them, you'll see that one of them will constantly remain no matter how much I try to clear it. So it will be prevented from closing off when you're clearing basically every other app quickly. And like I said, this is a good option for like music players where some of them will literally stop playing music once they're closed. So this will allow you to lock them, and in this case they won't be actually closed. Now moving on to the next option, it's gonna be the gesture navigation. So as you can see right now, we have the outdated buttons at the bottom, but we can change it for something a little bit more up to date. So all we need to do is go into the settings, then scroll down to system and choose system navigation. From here, tap on gesture navigation, and it is now set. Now this uses the normal Google gesture navigation. They don't have any like new spin on it. So as you can see, there's this tiny little bar at the bottom. Swipe up on it to go home. There we go. Then once you swipe up quickly, just acts as a home button. If you swipe up and hold, it opens up recent. Now this works from either here or here as well. And then swipe from the side to go back. As you can see, it opens up this kind of arrow. Now you do have to, it's barely visible here. Let me just open up Chrome. So it's still barely visible. So it creates this barely visible arrow. You maybe see it like right over here moving up and down. Hopefully it is visible. So whenever you tap on it, it just kind of acts as a back button. Now on the white surface, it is a little bit more visible. As you can see, it pops out and acts just as a simple back gesture. Now when it comes down to the actual gestures themselves, if you have some kind of problem with swiping up to go home, I strongly advise you to basically swipe off of the screen. So when you have this chin before the screen actually begins, so as you can see right here, the black bar, you want to start swiping basically from it onto the screen, and that will ensure that you always get the gesture navigation correct. So that is for people that haven't been using it much. But the back gesture from side to side is fairly easily accessible. Now moving on to the next one, it's going to be the dark mode, which can be accessed again through settings or also through here. Now if you go to the notification panel, it's just a toggle which you get to click on like so. As you can see, it turns into dark mode. That also will include default apps, as you can see. Even Chrome is included in that, along with settings as well. So if we go into settings, you can see that it is also dark. Now we can also enable it or disable it through display section right here, and you should have it right over here. So you can simply turn it on or off from here. And also if you go into it, you'll have a couple additional options. So you have dark theme always off or always on. Then you have sunset to sunrise, which will allow you to set it basically almost as a schedule. It will turn on automatically at a given time and then turn off again by itself. And honestly, I think this might be the best option to use this, because it will basically allow you to never think about it and have the display either fully bright, which will allow you to see it during the daytime, and then also in a dark mode during nighttime, which will also increase decrease the eye strain. So this is a go-to option for me here. And moving on to the next one. Now let me quickly check it if it's even here. Actually, I know it is. So we can go into the dynamic effects. Now, initially I just wanted to touch upon one option from here, but on this device we actually have a plethora of others. Now I'm saying this because, for instance, think like the VIVO Y, I think it's 11S, have way less option in here. But as you can see, we have things like ambient lighting effect. So you have a couple options, you can enable it. If we go back, we have things like fingerprint icon animation. So this is for just a fingerprint animation. And you have a couple different ones, which is really nice that they include them. So you can just switch to whichever one you want. Now, I don't really have any fingerprints set right now, so I don't really have a way of showcasing this, but you can see clearly how it will look like on the turned off display. Instead of having the default one, you can just change it to something else. And tap on apply, and okay, I can't apply it because I would have to set it up. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back. Apart from that, you have face recognition animation. Again, you can set it up, but for me it won't really work because I don't have any protection on the device. But as you can see, you can change it to a couple different ones. There is one that kind of look funny too. So instead of the typical lock, you can change it to something more, well, fun. And also you have different icons for charging animation and USB animation, so you can change those up if you want to. But that's basically all I wanted to show. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.